Thank you very much, Your Honor. My question is to the government leader in the Senate, and I too want to thank you, Senator Gold, and your team for being in such good form in being able to respond and also to keep calm and to engage in respectful listening. It is a model of conduct that I think we can be proud of, and I hope we'll be able to continue in this way. My question actually picks up on a comment that you made just a moment ago about trucks from the occupation still being, quote, nearby, quote. My question is really geared to the fact that in some circumstances, the world learned from Ottawa in that the kind of occupation of Parliament Hill that has occurred for over 20 days in Ottawa has not been allowed to occur in some other capital cities, Paris, for example, because of measures that police were able to take. And they were able to take those measures without resorting to this kind of emergency declaration. And so I'm looking at Section 59 of the Emergencies Act. That is the section that specifies that 10 senators and 20 members of Parliament are in a position at any time to bring a motion to revoke under any of the four parts of the Act. In this case, I think it's clear we're looking at sub A of Section 59 that deals with parts 1 and 2, because this has been declared an emergency of public order. And so my question is this: if there were to be such a motion, preferably not from any one particular political caucus, and if that were to be presented respectfully and thoughtfully, would this kind of motion that is allowed for under the Emergencies Act have a place in our ongoing debate and our interactions with the government on this decision?
Senator Gold.
Well, thank you for your question. I followed your question, which is an important one, right till the very end. So I'm not entirely clear what the last phrase was. So I'm going to make an effort to answer, but I would encourage you to follow up if I've misunderstood the thrust of it. But thank you for pointing out the different provisions in a sense, and I'm not going to elaborate. I've said it in my speech. Section 58 is the motion. A motion under Section 58 is what we're seized with. Our job is to confirm or deny. As I said earlier, I am not going to lean on the fact that we're dealing with one process under the Act and then there is another process. But since you raised it, and it's important for senators to appreciate, as I'm sure they do, that even if we confirm, as I hope we do, the government's decision to invoke the Act and declare an emergency as at February 14th, which is technically the question before us, the Act, in its wisdom, and parliamentarians who drafted it in their wisdom, gave us tools to continue to challenge the government's maintenance of an emergency, even if both houses of Parliament confirm it. Now, I know that for many who are tired is maybe the wrong word, who are concerned about the maintenance of extraordinary measures, I think that's more accurately, want to see an end of this as quickly as possible. The government's position is it is not appropriate to end it now, and it's the government's position that it is appropriate to confirm the decision that the government took on February 14th. But it is equally true that even if those of you who would want to end it now do not win the vote, there are other methods and means that you could and should use, if you so feel, to get us as parliamentarians to revisit it. And I should add, Senator, as you well know, that it does not require both houses of Parliament to agree on it. All it would take would be 10 senators here. It could be from one group, could be from all groups, including unaffiliated senators, and then it would trigger a process with which we would be seized. And as a senator, put aside my role as government representative, I would be pleased to see us as parliamentarians. I'm not encouraging you to do this. Please don't misunderstand me. But as a senator and as someone who believes in our democratic institutions, I would be proud that we were using all the democratic tools in our kit in order to make sure that what the government does, this government or any other government, is held to account. Lest I be misunderstood, it is the position of the government that it had reasonable grounds on February 14th and that the measures are still necessary for the time being. But it is also the position of the government to applaud previous government to put into place a law that has so many checks and balances and so many protections and that does not oust our fundamental rights and freedoms. That makes me proud as a Canadian and as a senator and as a representative of the government.
Senator McPhedran.